If you lead us in a word of prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, we are grateful again for the day that you've given us. We're grateful for your watching care over us. And Lord, we pray now for men who are working to restore power in the weather. Pray, Lord, that you protect them, help them to do their job, and that we might have power back to our community. I pray for their safety. Lord, I thank you for the opportunity to come and to discuss the bounty that you have provided for our town. Thank you for living in a place that you've blessed so much. And I pray, Lord, that as we discuss and projects and things that happen, I pray, Lord, that you'll give us wisdom in all that we do and say. For we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Okay, before we do roll call, I do want to give the people in Vidalia an update. A lot of them are probably listening live to see what's going on with the town. We did have a limb fall on one of our phases behind Olive Street and Myrtle Street that caused the power outage that we're experiencing right now. Crews are out. They're bringing a backyard machine because one of the areas that have to work, they're going to have to bring that machine in to do the work. And it's been located. And the estimate right now, time estimate is anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. They will have our power back up. Apologize for the inconvenience. Pretty good thunderstorm went through with a lot of rain in it. And if I will just continue to follow our Facebook page, and when power is restored, I will let you know that as far as we know, everything's up. But if you still have an outage after we announce this, if you'll give me a call, I will make sure that our crews won't go home until we get everybody back on. My number is 601-807-3298. So again, just follow our Facebook page and I'll keep you posted when the power is supposed to be restored. And if you're not restored after we do this, please give us a call because we don't want to send our people home and bring them back out if you're still out. So we want to make sure we get you taken care of. Okay, moving on. Can we do roll call?
Town of Vidalia Board of Aldermen roll call for the special meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen dated August 18, 2025. Alderman Bett.
Present.
Alderman Gardner.
Here.
Alderman McCoy.
Present.
Alderman Probst.
Here.
Alderman Smith.
Here.
Mayor, let the record show that a quorum of the board is present and accounted for.
Okay, one thing I will say before we get started is the first thing we have on our agenda is board discussion on proposed projects for the use of surplus hydroelectric royalties. The ordinance requires us to have 2 public meetings. This is the first of 2. We will be having another one Thursday. If you can't make this one, you didn't want to get out in the weather, we understand, but you got another chance. Come back Thursday at 6 o'clock and you put in your request. You can watch this one and see what all kind of projects that we're talking about. Again, all we're doing is adding a list of projects together that we will meet with the aldermen and they will select the ones that they want to move forward with and they will be voted on, hopefully in our September meeting. So, and that's going to be the process. I usually go first. I'm going to go down and list some of the projects that I would like to myself ask for, and I'm sure some of the aldermen have expressed, the want to do some of these as well. And one of the things Alderman McCoy has requested, and that we looked at, and I'll let him handle the one that's at the school board, junior high, because that's in his district. He wants to kind of do that later. But the first one I've got on my list is our fiberglass backboards for the gym the basketball court that we have up here by our fire station. Those backboards are kind of outdated, old. But the people that come up there and play, we have a diverse group of people come up and play almost every night. They never leave any trash. There's never been a problem. And I'm talking about there's some night there's 50 to 75 kids up there playing ball on all those courts. And I'd like to see us get some real nice fiberglass backboards, clear. And that cost is going to be around $4,000 to $5,000 to buy the backboards and install them. That's one of my asks. That's the first thing. The second thing I have is I would like to get $50,000 for the balloon race week. We feel like that on the Vidalia side, there's some things we never had organized activities on this side. And this year, I'd like to see us put together that money's for talent, as well as some different programs and things to go on for that weekend. Also to have something for the people who want to just stay over here, it would be free of charge to all the citizens and public to come and listen to bands and enjoy the food and all the activities that we're going to have here on the Vidalia side. So I will be asking for that. The next thing on my list, we will call this another phase of the Pope Park expansion, and that is going to be to overlay and to convert the tennis courts and update those because the surface on those are being worn out. And we want to convert the back quadrant of the tennis courts into pickleball courts. And we're looking at to convert those into the pickleball courts. We're looking at anywhere from $50,000 to $75,000, and probably a total ask of $100,000 to resurface the tennis courts on the other quadrants as well. So that'll be another ask. Also in Pope Park, which will be another ask, would be a skateboard park. This wasn't in the first phase, but the skateboard park has been highly requested and is a very highly recommended community project for a lot of municipalities. And that ranges anywhere, those parks can range anywhere from 3,000 square feet to 8,000 square feet. And that cost for around a 3,000 square foot skate park is around 150,000. 8,000 square feet, which is very, very big and nice, is 400,000. So that's going to be up to the council if they want to pursue that. If they do, to what level they would want to see that done. Also, a part of the Pope Park expansion would be expansion of the community garden and the farmers market. The farmers market currently meets up at the courthouse. A lot of people love that location due for the trees and things of that nature. However, it is a problem with parking to a lot of the businesses that are in that area. And I wanted to do this prior to that, but with that in mind, I would like to see us put a pavilion where the existing community garden is now, across the street from there, adjacent to where the pond's going to be, and put in a pavilion, a nice size, watch out there, Patrick, is a nice size pavilion there that would house the farmer's market, would have fans under it. It would have rolling tables for people to put their product and produce on, and that when it's not in use for the farmer's market, those could be rolled up into the back, and it could be used as a community center for people to have reunions, birthday parties, whatever they wanted to do. They would have a place they could get out of the weather, and I think it'd be a nice addition to our whole park up there for our people to have that. Plus the farmer's market, I think it's well attended, and I think once you have a place people can, if we can grow it, we'll have a lot of activity there because a lot of people love buying the fresh produce that's done there. The community garden, we want to expand that. Alderman Betts has taken the reins on that, so to speak, and he's done a good job with that. And one of the programs we want to enlist in that he's going to be working with the 4-H and our county agent to introduce into the schools. We want a section for them where they can come and teach students how to raise crops. I bet you our young kids don't know anything about planting any kind of vegetables or any kind of anything to eat or fruit. And we want to give them an opportunity and a place where they can come and have that. And I think it's be a worthwhile program for us to have for our kids and also any adults, senior adults, young adults. It doesn't matter. If you want a spot that you want to call your own and try it and come and learn, we certainly want to invite people to do that. I think that's got most of the things that are under Pope Park, the next phase.
Did you have a price tag on that?
Yes, I had around 500,000 for the total. That's going to be parking lots, bathrooms, and everything for the farmers market. And again, all of these are just adding to a list that the council will make the decision on what we'll do. That's not my call. These are just my ideas I'd like for us to consider. The next thing I'd like to do is to add $100,000 to our existing tree removal, which would bring it to a total left. We've spent a lot of it. We've removed a lot of problem trees. So that would give us a total budget of $250,000 to remove the remainder of the dead pine trees. And I've been talking with the state and other people with the Arborist Association I'm on a committee with them. We're supposed to be meeting next month. But I feel like we've come up with a way to get these trees removed because a lot of these trees are on private property, but they are a public safety problem. For example, let's say just close to your house, you've got 3 big pine trees that are right there on the street. They're a public safety problem that somebody walking down that street or driving down that street could be injured or killed by these dead pine trees. And we don't want that on our conscience because If I think for $250,000, we can eradicate every dead pine tree in this town, I think that's money well spent. And I'm hoping we can do that and approve that. So I wanted to ask for another 100,000 to add to what we already have existing remaining on the problem trees and the tree removal. And those trees that just caused a problem again this evening, there's a big tree, I'm sure there, that when those limbs blew out, got across that phase and burned it out and caused this outage. We want to go in and all those trees that are in danger, we're working on them, we're systematically taking them out, but we want to hit them with a good lick with this money here so we don't have these issues. The next thing, you'd have to see this to understand where I'm going with it. But this is a 30-foot LED tree, Christmas tree, that will be, that if you see that, if you've ever been to some of the big places like Branson, Silver Dollar City, you'll see these laser trees that are one of the most amazing things to see. And I'd like to see us put it down there during the holidays. It would be down past the hotel, would be put in the center of that field. It'd have something around it to protect it. And then you'd have bleachers around it, and you'd have that whole area instead of, we still want to decorate the courthouse and do all that, but all the cutouts and things of that nature, we could make that whole area out there something that tree at 6, 7, and 8 o'clock every night would come on and do a program with music, and people could bring their kids there every night. It'd go every night at 6, 7, and 8 o'clock. It won't go after that. And there'd be activities and lit up well, have cameras on it. Bobby, I'm going to give you a heads up. I'm going to be asking for that tree. The cost of that tree is around $50,000. It's 40 something, but by the time you do all the setups and things that you need with it, would be around 50,000. The next thing, this would be around the convention center, would be an LED wall TV. It's 7 by 13. The cost on it's in the neighborhood of $25,000. This would be something that we could use as an upcharge for our convention center. Anybody having showers or weddings or events, if they wanted to rent it and pay an upcharge to have this, they could have their event or anything playing on this big LED wall where people all in the convention center could look like they're right there on stage with whatever's happening. I think would be a great, great thing to have. And it could also double. It's movable. So if somebody wanted to have a movie night, we could move it to the amphitheater and it'd be big and people could have movie nights for kids for whatever it might be, whether it's Easter programs, Thanksgiving, Halloween movies, whatever you want to do, you could do that if somebody citizen wanted to pick that up. And of course, we would have to handle it and maintain it and watch over it. But I just think it opens up a lot of opportunities for our citizens to have something to do. If they wanted it, it would be available.
In City
pardon?
District 1?
Huh?
In City District 1?
Yeah, it's located in City District 1, as well as the Christmas tree.
Just checking.
Okay, and I want to ask for some more cameras. Bobby Paul, our IT guy, who does a fantastic job on placing them around town, he's going to need more money for these cameras to put around our playground area, our water plant, and in these areas here. Bobby, is there any other places you want to put those? Because Bobby's been working for years on getting all the backbone and fiber to run these cameras and make us a secure community by being able to monitor different issues going on in our town. Uh-oh, here he comes. Here you got something.
There you go.
Well, we've got a little over 100 cameras throughout the city right now along the highway, along the riverfront, and also the bridge has LPRs. We've got LPRs going towards Faraday. We've got LPRs going towards south.
Tell people what the LPRs are.
License plate readers. So it's a camera that basically looks at and takes pictures of license plates. Then the text file is compared with a database, and if it's in the database, then it gives an alarm and says, hey, this license number vehicle just went by. So it lets people who subscribe to that database know, that the vehicle's in the area. What I'm asking for is to get money to be able to make the water plant like Fort Knox. And to do that, it's going to be 35 cameras. Then you got 3 gates with the electric gates. It'll have the video where people pull up, push a button, somebody either in the water plant or in the receptionist can see who it is and then allow them access. And then also it's card swipes for all the employees to be able to go in and out. That's right at $168,000. Besides that, I'm just kind of looking into the future for the cameras for the Polk Park. Because as they've started putting in electrical lines, I've had them put pipe in for me so I can run fiber in there. So I'm going to save the cost on having to put the pipe in the ground, and we can pull the fiber in the ground. But putting the cameras in, that's going to be probably another $60,000. That's just for phase one, what they're working on now. So that's be 228, say 230,000. If you need an exact number, I can calculate it on my phone if you need me to.
We'll put on the list. We can
Not
add.
tonight, I don't need the exact.
We,
number.
all right, I tell you, if you get that list, that amount by next Thursday, we'll go ahead and put it on there. But I just wanted to get it on the list,
Yeah.
So what Bobby's basically saying, the water plant, I wanted to make sure, in the future, our water is so precious to us. People take for granted. We want to make sure that we're protecting our water supply and our water as much as we can.
Yes.
And we make sure there's nobody can, whether it's terrorism or whatever it might be, can come in and disturb or bother that. So
Now, another thing, as far as the wish lists go, is I talked about trying to light up 84 from end to end with Wi-Fi, have wireless internet along the highway. A lot of that comes from, I know the police department's going to be getting laptops in their cars. And instead of necessarily having to eat up their data on a cellular connection, they'd be able to use that Wi-Fi.
Okay.
So that, depending on the phasing on that, that's about 160,000.
get that all together, and we'll put that on your list, and we'll certainly, we'll run that. It's great ideas.
Well, the cameras, I think, is just, that's kind of following along with what we've been doing. And, we've got the backbone in place and the outside plant in place that'll allow us to do that.
I will say this. Y'all know I go to a lot of meetings. I sit on a few boards with a lot of different mayors, and, we talk about all these issues within our town. I won't mention the town's name, but right now they're looking at putting cameras in their town, and they've had an outside provider come in and offer them what they would do to do a turnkey deal on, and it's not a lot of cameras, but running the fiber and everything. Bobby's done a lot of our work and saved us a ton of money. This provider was going to charge them nearly $1 million to put these cameras that Bobby has done at a fraction of the cost, and a lot less cameras. And I'm talking, when I told them what we were doing, they said, can he come show us how to do it? But I want to tell him I appreciate what he's done. We just don't know what we do have with a lot of the guys that we have. But he has saved us a fortune and helping us get, a real secure community. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, let me ask you something before you go. Are you working with Chief Merrill and Vidalia Police Department on additional cameras?
They had said that there were some places that we needed to move some cameras. So we've got to do some adjustments to those. And then Officer King had given me 3 locations where he wanted me to see about trying to get cameras to. And those 3 locations are close to where I already have cameras. So what I can do is in my new build budget, I can extend my fiber, 3 poles and get to it and put up another camera. So yeah, I have spoken with Inspector King and with the chief. And now they had mentioned some other places, but I have not gotten a list from them yet. But I do have 3 locations.
Okay, well, I know you got one right there on the riverfront that the only tree that's over there is blocking that
Oh,
camera.
yeah. You talking about back lot of the where the hotel is?
Exactly.
Yeah, we have to cut it
Yeah,
about once a year. I'm about ready to just take a chainsaw and cut it off the ground and be done with it because we cut the top out of it every year. But that's for the Clarion Suites Hotel parking lot. Yes.
And for those who have not seen it, it's high resolution cameras where you can see the shirt color of the individual driving the
Oh, yeah.
vehicle, and the LPR. They give that exact information that's on the back
Well,
of that vehicle.
And the LPRs, they're made to be basically zoomed in on a very specific area where the license plate would be, and it's looking for a text. It's not looking for color or shape. It's looking for letters and numbers, and that's why it's so exact about that.
Thank you, Bob.
Bobby, I got one question.
Yes, sir.
How much are you lacking for every subdivision? Have you got every subdivision, every road, interior, exterior, inner, exit, pretty much sewed up now to the main highway? At one time, we were talking about that. You said you weren't far off.
The only place that I feel that I'm lacking, and I just hadn't figured out how to get to it yet, is the area like in front of Vidalia Market, that whole area along there. That's
It's a lot of access.
because it's all asphalt
Yeah.
and all my fiber's back behind there. And I'm actually looking at a thing that's called micro trenching.
Yeah, you said something about that. Before.
And that may be something we're going to try in my new bill budget.
Okay.
Because I spoke to someone about that.
But other than that, you covered pretty much all your entries and exits.
And
That means a lot, you know.
I have one camera that I'm having problems getting up, and it's at Olive and Myrtle Street. That's back in that subdivision.
Mhm.
And I'm having some trouble getting that one up and running. All the others are up and running. The other locations that Officer King and the chief wanted, the 3 locations I have, I've already drawn those jobs up to get new build done on those, and those shouldn't be much to that.
Good deal. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
All right, moving on. The next thing I got is to paint the interior of the convention center. I'd like to entertain some bids on that from some contractors, and I'll try to get that before the time. Y'all know it's kind of dark and dark green, and we're trying to really do some nice things with the LED lights on the inside, which would really make events nice as far as showers and parties or whatever. And LED lights on those dark colored walls just doesn't do what it would on a neutral colored wall. And so that we do want, it needs repainting anyway. The next thing I'd like to ask for is $150,000 to rework the gateway. The gateway is the coming into the riverfront. Y'all know everybody thinks that's a splash pad. It was never a splash pad. It was only a decorative water thing that would shoot up. People made it a splash pad, but it was not built to be a splash pad. We're going to have a very nice splash pad up here for people that want a splash pad. But I want to rework the gateway and get somebody to work with us on some kind of design there. That would be something we'd be really proud of, whether it's a 12-foot long Bowie knife on a stand or something that would, I don't know, anything. We're open to ideas. The beautification and garden club can get involved if they want to come up with something they like to see there, whether it's a big fountain, it doesn't matter to me. But I'd like to see us do something that's going to make that special. I've been putting on there every year decorative street signs. We want to get rid of every street sign in the town and put decorative street signs up. I've been remiss to get cost on it till we see how many we're going to actually need. That might have to wait till next year. The Council on Aging, I think we're going to ask for another $50,000 to do more repairs on it. The work's been done on it. There's been some great work, but they're going to have to go in and do some carpenter work on it and do some more painting on it. So I'd like to ask for $50,000 more on that. And we've already talked about it. And then last thing I have is a transmission line. That should be completed this year. Back when we paid off all the debt with the town at that time, Deborah, you might have to correct, I'm just going from memory. But at that time, we only had about $4 million. There was a $7 million project, or $7.5 million project. And at the time, when we paid off all of our debt, I think there was about $4 million of that. We used hydro monies to pay that debt off and pay that line of credit down to zero. Well, of course, you know, then we came out and we had, after COVID, we had the transmission line we had to do, the substations built out at the DAB Lane Road. And we had to get transmission. All that was done post-COVID, which the cost went up. And to show you how much it went up, just for the transmission line extra, we've already spent the remainder of the line, which was the difference between the 4 million and the 7.5 million. So you got another 3 million that we've already got borrowed back, 3 to 3.5 million. But it's going to take us another 2 million to complete it. That's how much the cost went up with the transmission lines post-COVID. So thank goodness we did it, you know, got most of it done, that project done prior to COVID. But I will probably be asking for the amount to pay that completely off after it's built. And we're going to be looking at an additional, what is it, Deborah, 4 to 6 million. Now, we might not have to take all of just ask for hydro monies. We got a lot of other monies and investments that we can use. We'll be coming to the council with that. I think John has got one of the things that I wanted to do, which I'm going to let him take that because that's the first thing he said to me when I walked in, but it's going to be bringing up an old thing. But that's everything I've got, and I appreciate everybody listening. And I guess I'll go, John. You're next.
The three things that I'm talking about was Pope Park. Keep money in that. Keep that going. Whatever that's going to take. Also,
Can I interrupt you? Right now, the way we're standing, the bids that we've got in for Pope Park, we've got $4,250,000 already allocated, and right now the bids to put it complete with what we've got right now is 3.6. So we're gonna have plenty of money for that.
I just want to
Okay,
make sure
yeah.
that we can.
We're in good shape on that right now.
Yes. The other big thing, have DA Big Lane.
That's what I'm talking about.
We have been making promises an extremely long time about getting that done. And I know that we tried to get help with that. And it seems like every time we're close, we get, somebody says, no, you got to do something. And so I think it's time for us to just bite the bullet and fix the road. We need to fix the road. It's going to be an asset for us in the future, especially with the expansion of the port and the SIRA and what they're doing. And we just need to get that project going. It's been a long time. The other thing that I talked about was I think in the original plan, one of the entrances to Pope Park was back here through that subdivision. Are we going to have that as an access from that subdivision to Pope Park?
We haven't planned on that. The only thing I've talked about is having our engineer is discuss with DOT if they can, just like this turn in right here, is to extend and making that a turning lane, extend it on out all the way past, this exit down here on the west side of town. I mean, other thing. But right now you can't hardly get out of there because it's not really a turn lane there. And if you pull out in there trying to get across going back east, well, you're halfway out in the highway. It's really dangerous. So that's the only thing we've got right now asked for. It's a good ask. You talking about from that's on Bill Johnson?
Yes.
Coming around. The only thing I think would maybe it would be my problem with that was until we develop that into soccer fields and see what's going to happen there. I don't know. I just got a question about that.
And the reason I'm kind of thinking about that is once we get this completed, if kids want to ride their bike from town to there, or how are they going to get there?
Right, I got you.
And they're going to ride down the highway and go into it, or
Mhm.
will we have a little more secure way them off the highway to get into
Okay.
into that? And that's just
Okay.
an idea
Sure. Okay.
to do that.
Going back to DAB Lane Road, our initial estimates on DAB Lane was $3 to $3.5 million. That road is over 2 miles long, and it's going to have a lot of base work done for it to last. And so I did want to put that out there. To follow what John said, we've been trying for 8 years to get help federally or state funding on this. And it seemed like the target's moved on that. We've gone through every program you want to talk to, every senator, every legislator we wanted to talk to. We've tried everything we can. Matter of fact, I'm supposed to meet with people all week this week. I'm trying to get funding for it. Got 2 meetings tomorrow. And then another one later on this week. But we're going to go, I'm glad John is being sponsoring this, and we're not going to stop trying to get money, but if not, I'm hoping the council will approve that money to get DAB Lane fixed and good to go. That's all. Go ahead.
That's all I can think of right now.
So, Alderman McCoy?
Pretty much, I think that this board, this mayor, has done a good job in those things that are supposed to be done by your city government in City District 1. I make it a point to tease the rest of my counterparts when I say that. Everything is a work in progress. We cut a bunch of pine trees, did all of my streets, all of the streets. These power outages, we tried to do as much as we could to negate that during bad weather, because when weather was good, we took care of that. There's some things that one of the greatest showpieces in Vidalia is the riverfront. And that little splash pad that the little kids used to, we got to come back with something that would be maybe not the equivalent of that, maybe even better, bigger and better than that.
Right now, so it's a canvas. We can paint it like we want to, so.
Okay.
Can I interrupt you right there?
Go ahead.
I just got an update on the power. About 30 minutes, our power will be back on. Conley did break one of the 3 phase lines in the neutral. But 30 minutes from, at 6:28, I got an update that 30 minutes, power should be back up. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Good. The other conversation was with beautification. There's a couple projects that I got out there that we need the flag, the Martin Luther King, either signage, statue, placard, whatever we decide to do with that. But the thing that's most concerning right now, in a time where we're trying to get our kids to get outside, to get off the computer, go play, go ride your bicycle, go do something. There's a lot of youngsters that come up here and play. Well, in my district, I have a basketball court, multiple basketball courts, and we got a state championship team from the kids that played out there on that slab. And if we could do maybe a cooperative endeavor with Concordia Parish School District, and just do some general upkeep, as well as making that into our parks and playgrounds. That's something that I think we could take a hard look at. And those kids, those children that live in that area and areas close by will have an opportunity to play and enjoy themselves on a covered basketball court like we got out here, possibly fiberglass backboards. It's just there's so many possibilities. You know, starting with some simple grass cutting. And I got 2 schools in my district. The Vidalia up is in great shape. It's in great shape.
They've done a good job.
Vidalia Junior High, we can do better there. And I just, maybe not me being the point person on that, but somebody being the point person to have that conversation where we get the playground part in a cooperative endeavor. So those children will have access to good playground, good basketball. You got a softball field, you got a baseball field down there. And, then we work on the other things that need to happen. But I really want to negotiate. I don't know if negotiate's the word, but have a conversation with my school board member, who from my understanding is also president of the rec board.
Mhm.
And surely he has to be, on board. That's probably the biggest wish I got right there. I can't give you no numbers on that, but yeah, that's one of the things. That's my junior high. I went to that junior high school. As most of the people who live in Vidalia went to that junior high school. So that's mine.
That it?
That's it.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Brent?
I still would like to see us get behind the wall. See him sitting out there. I just like to get that done. Just get it done when we still have these brave people to be able to enjoy it, see it, bring people to our town. I think it's in a good spot where it is. People can come over and look at it. Just like to see that. And there's still a bunch of trees need to be cut. And I know over there on Alabama Street, there's several along that ditch line toward the old ballpark. Still, and I kind of take some of the blame on this, but it's kind of like I think Tron said something kind of wish somebody would take the point on it, but I still want to see the special needs bill.
Because we've had meetings on it. Have y'all come up with
Yeah.
a cost yet? I think everybody wants to do it. We just
I
need
guess
cost.
the guy I talked to died. I don't know. I hadn't heard from him.
That ain't good.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he just dropped the ball. I can't get anything out of him. And I guess what I was saying, I would love to see, I don't know, our department and the rec board get together. I mean, and with
The
some
only,
involvement.
the only thing is it's just like with school board that Alderman McCoy's talking about, before we can go spend money on it, we got to have an agreement with them where they want that. They might say, we don't want that. We don't want that at all.
Well,
Same thing with rec board, and rec board might say, well, we don't want to do that, So we just need to, I think once you come up with it and we agree to it, they need to agree to accept it.
Oh, they have.
Okay,
They fully
and,
accepted it.
so-
Elizabeth went to.
So I don't think it'd be any problem to get people. I think
No,
a great idea.
it's just finding somebody to nail somebody down. I was on top of it there for a little while, and then, life happens, and it's just not fair to those kids to
Okay.
rely on me to get it done. But I mean, I'm willing to help, and Tommy is too. I mean,
Okay.
but sometimes you look up and another year's gone, nothing's done. I'm like, we have departments, a rec board and a field staff here. Let's I mean, can that be their homework assignment? You know,
If you tell us what you want us to do,
uh,
we've sat in on meetings and I
Mhm.
think we've always come up with cost. It's
Yeah.
come up with a price and I think that's.
and I really think the guy he was talking to, I don't think that was a big enough project for him. Yeah, I think he just saw what we wanted and just kind of never called back. But along the lines of something you said a while ago, too, with the tennis courts, if we're going to spend money on those tennis courts, can we turn them the right way? Where we can get state tournaments here?
You could either plant trees or put a cover over.
No, I'm talking about turn them the
I know,
way
but you would
tennis
lose,
court.
if there's not, it's not enough, you would lose a lot of your courts. There's not enough room. There's not enough room.
Yeah.
You've got, I think, what's 3 courts on each section, on each quadrant? There's 4 quadrants. Is it 3 courts on each quadrant? I think. So if you turn them sideways, you're gonna lose 1, 2, 3 courts.
I just think it's a shame to spend that much money and you can't host a
But I mean,
official
would
tournament.
it be just not as much and then you could use them all the time? Just put cover 'em.
I don't know much about pickleball, but it's smaller court, isn't it a
Mhm.
smaller? court?
Yeah, you can get, on 1 quadrant, you can get 8
You
courts.
can get more pickleball courts on
Yeah.
one, and you could also turn the right direction.
Well, no, they're gonna be turned the right way. That's what I'm saying. There'll be
saying.
8. I've been talking with Frankie Spence and he's got an estimated cost for where I got my cost from.
Right.
And we can get 8 courts on it, turned the right way. And it's just, we can look at covering them and you would get state tournaments. You would, and then people could play, even if it's raining, they could play.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I just think that was just a shame spending that much money on much tennis courts and you
And
can't host.
that might be,
any-
look, let's get them resurfaced and the pickleball courts done. And next year we maybe can get them covered. I don't know. It might be something we can do.
I have 2 questions before we move to Tommy or me or whatever. My first question is, what is the balance on the wall?
On the what?
The wall, the Vietnam.
We have approved $40,000. We did pay that. For full disclosure, we approved $60,000 last year. I did not send that money because I can't get anything telling us what I've given money for. I don't want to spend any more money. I'm not been guaranteed, hey, send me $40,000 worth of wall or send me $60,000 worth of wall. I don't want to keep sending money and the town's not received anything to show us what we got for it. And Doug can explain it later if he wants to. And Doug, we've had a meeting. We had a meeting, I think the last one, Jay and I both attended it at the RV park, where we had asked for these things to meet this guy, for him to reach out to us, for us to go meet with him, show us what we're getting. We still haven't got a call, letter, nothing. And we've asked for that. How long has that been? That was back last spring. When was that meeting, when the show band lady was there? But, so I just hate to spend, he'll be.
So we're gonna do this now, we're gonna do our thing.
If Doug wants to talk about it now, we can.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about it now.
Thank you, Mayor, Board. The answer to the question now, Alderman Gardner, is we would owe a total of $170,000. Now, I'd like to make it clear that the meeting that you alluded to, Mayor, at that time, for the sum total of $50,000, that wall would be ours. And we were given that opportunity twice. And I talked to banks about it, and I talked to individuals about it, and we would have bought that wall for one payment, additional payment of $50,000. Insofar as the status of that wall, in a conversation you and I had, Mayor, some time ago, about where that wall was, what it was, how it was doing, that wall was and continues to be in storage. It has not traveled for anyone else to generate revenue off of. It's been retired for over 3 years. It does have some battle scars from having been deployed on 3, maybe 4 occasions. Those are very minimal. It was taken out of storage and cleaned in the intention being that it would be shipped to us in 3 to 5 business days from the time that payment was received. Mayor, the council requested that we submit invoices, which we did, and you paid $40,000 of one invoice. And the understanding at that time was that we would submit the other invoices, which we did, and that they would be paid in a timely manner. The $40,000 has also been supplemented by the fact that as a board, Point Man International Ministries paid $10,000. We paid that $10,000 initially so we could lock in a price of $225,000 total. With the application of the $40,000 and the $10,000, that puts us at about $170,000. Isn't that right? The other thing is that in order for us to have capitalized on the opportunity to buy it for another $50,000, there was a window of time that we needed to do that. And we didn't make that window. That was what that meeting was about that you mentioned. It was looking for funding, hopefully that we would find a grant somewhere that we could pay that $50,000 and that wall would be ours. It would be here in 3 to 5 business days. It's not being built. It's not being used. It's there. It has been for quite some time. Now, the fact that it was agreed upon by this board in a meeting, it was the money was allocated for it. We were under the impression, I was under the impression that these invoices would be paid in a timely manner. Insofar as Don Allen is concerned, Colonel Don Allen, we can have him here for a meeting pretty quick. That wouldn't be an issue at all. But at every juncture when we have been asked to see what people think, as Congressman Alderman Post alluded to on a couple of occasions, I'd like to address that this way. A Baptist church sends a check every month to Point Man International Ministries, Miss Lou. We have raised more than $6,000 through raffles. At the same time, while we're being sponsored and supported by those groups that I mentioned, an elementary school, the students and the student body has been fiercely supportive of this project for years. They have contributed more than $3,000 to Point Man International Ministries over a period of 3 or 4 years. Other people throughout our community, individuals, people in law enforcement, people in the safety community, fire department, police department, they've also indicated their interest and their support of it too. So what my question to you is, how can we go back to what we agreed upon? And it was implied that these invoices would be paid, and can we revert back to that same question?
Okay, I got some questions, because right now, no disrespect, Mr. McAllister, but your math ain't adding up. You just told us the wall, you had an agreed upon price that wall was $200-something thousand.
Right.
Is that correct?
Right?
You got a discount on it, it was gonna bring it to $170,000. Is that correct?
Say again now?
What did you say you could get it discounted? If you got some money, you could buy it for $170,000?
No, what I said was that if we applied the 40,000 and the 10,000, we'd be at 170,000. Is that right?
Okay,
And then I said that we could have bought that wall
for another $50,000.
for $50,000.
So we had $60,000. Is that right? That you're saying we didn't give you? Is that right? You're saying if we would have gave you that $60,000, you could have bought that wall for another $50,000.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Mayor.
Okay, well, that don't add up. That only go over $100,000, Colonel. Mr. McAllister. You're saying that wall costs $100. Do the math.
Mayor,
I think I know a little bit about numbers.
Mayor, I don't have to pull my shoes off to count. The $50,000 was an offer by American Veteran Traveling Tribute to simply say, here's this wall, and this is what we proposed for you to pay for it. At this day, this time, at this moment, when you pay an additional $50,000, in addition to the 50 that's already been paid, a sum total of $100,000, this wall is yours.
Okay,
That's the math I'm using.
okay. You just said that it's 170,000. Is that what you not said?
Originally it was, if you take the 225 and take the 50 off of it, wouldn't that be right?
Okay, 40's been paid. And it costs, you're saying now 170, so that's down to 130, correct?
Ask the question again.
Okay, you said originally was 200 something thousand dollars.
225,000 originally,
All right, and you got it discounted down to 170 something, is that correct?
with the payments that made by the town of Vidalia and Point Man Ministries,
Okay, which was a total of $50,000?
correct?
So we're at 120. Is that correct?
I didn't do the math on it. I'm not looking at the
No,
statement.
I'm telling you, well,
Okay.
that's what I get.
Okay,
What did you get?
220.
Huh, 125?
No, I'm saying it was 220.
It was two, no, it was 170, what was the price? 170?
it was 225
And
originally,
And
and
then,
we applied to $50,000 to it.
I mean, you said, was it discounted or was it paid? The 50,000, was it paid or discounted down to 170?
It was paid in lieu of the $225,000 original cost.
Is it 170 from the $50,000 payment, or are you saying they discounted it to the 170,000? Which one was it? Did the payment bring it to 170, or did they discount it to 100? You
The
know what that-
payment brought it to 107,
So 170 still owed on it.
right?
Okay, where does 50,000 come in? If we send them 50,000, that's going to show us buying it for under 100,000.
Mayor, I'm glad you saw that. I'm glad you realized that. That's the point I've been trying to get across.
Okay, hold on a minute. Jay, you were at that meeting with me. Jay and I both were bankers for over 20 plus years, Doug. Did you hear anything like that in that meeting?
No, I don't recall that figure. What I remember in that meeting was a balance of the 170 after the 50,000. And what the question was the 60,000, well, the invoice is unpaid. We really were never invoiced, Doug. The town had allocated 60,000.
Pending,
However,
pending.
sir,
They were pending.
pending,
They weren't.
but that it
Just
was,
thrown out there
it wasn't
pending.
committed. It was just,
Information as to how this was gonna be a.
that's right. That's if we got other information that
Right.
I think, Doug, that's what we've been looking for, is the status of the wall, what was coming, what we were going to get, because we've seen different versions of the wall. And plus the board, I think, had questions on the infrastructure, how much money was it going to cost. And I think we just got those numbers, Mayor, at that meeting where, I can't remember his name. He had done some estimates for Point Man, and I think he came up with $350,000, right?
By the time it was set up, it was a $300,000 project.
Mayor, let there be no doubt in anyone's mind. This wall cannot be built for $225,000 as it was originally proposed. I don't think anybody was under the impression that we were implying that it could be.
Doug,
The infrastructure and
You're confusing me more. You're saying that this wall cannot be built or bought for $225,000.
No, sir, Mayor, I didn't say it couldn't be bought. I
You
said it
just
could
said
not be
that.
built.
Okay, so,
It can be bought in Vidalia, Louisiana in 3 business days for what I've explained to you, and it could have been 3
So-
years ago.
so they get 50,000 of the 60,000 that we've got, we can get that wall.
Correct.
Okay, y'all all heard that. So with the money they've got in hand right now,
Hold up, Mayor. Let me interrupt you. That offer for $50,000 for additional payment to get that wall here
Mhm.
stayed on the table for 2 weeks, and it's gone now. I want you to understand that.
okay, and can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I'm curious. If this wall is sitting there somewhere in the storage that this guy's got, and it's a used wall, we haven't laid eyes on it, anything, what in 2 weeks can change the price of that? I'm just curious.
Mayor, that's a question that would.
Well, Doug, that's what I'm saying, Doug. I have been asking you for this man who owns this wall to contact us. He's got $40,000 of our money, the people's money, not mine, the people's money. He wants to send him another 60,000, and I can't even get him to call. I'm sorry. I'm
Mayor.
I'm gonna make a mistake. I'm gonna make a statement that the mayor did, and I remember him saying, this is not our money to give you. This is the people's money to give you. And we can't just give money out unless we have, I remember you distinctly saying that. We can't just give money out. And it's true. As an entity that we are, we can't just say, take this money without
Kind of receipt.
with some kind of something. I mean, that's just the truth. And
Well,
I
you
mean,
said
we already,
40
wait, I'm gonna say this, we got 40,000 somewhere, but we don't have anything for it. That's already gone. We're gonna give you another 60,000 and we don't have anything and nobody's contacted him. So I'm gonna say, I'm with the mayor on that. Why is the man not contacting him? Why have we not heard from him, Doug? That's my question.
If I understand you correctly, all it would take is a meeting with Colonel Don Allen or a phone call.
I'm not
Is that,
saying that. I'm saying, why has he not contacted the mayor?
it wasn't necessary that he knew of to do that.
He asked you to. I mean, he's got to, Doug, because he's got to have some way of knowing what we're doing. I mean, this is public money. And I wouldn't want to sit in his shoes and start passing it out. And I don't want to be held liable as an alderman for making a decision to pass it out. That's putting me on spot just like it is him. And if we ask for you to give us somebody to talk to us and call us, he should be here yesterday. And if he had a big deal, he should have told somebody he had a big deal of $50,000. That's just the way I do business. But I mean, so I'm confused too. And
I want to get the math right.
I'm not worried about the math because the math is not the point. The point now is, why has he not come forth? Why has he not contacted the mayor? That's my question. I'm not even in the math, other than the math of that $40,000, because I'm part of that. I'm part of okaying that $40,000. He's part of that. Every alderman in here is a part of that. So can you answer that question?
The answer to the question about the $40,000, you sent the $40,000, and when you did, you sent it to American Veteran Traveling Tribute.
Okay.
The town of Vidalia does not have a business relationship with American Veteran Traveling Tribute. Point Man International Ministries has an agreement with AVTT, and the town agreed to support this.
Well,
That's the fact
I
of the
kind
matter.
of disagree with you. You got 40,000 of our money. Yeah, we're in business with you.
So
He's got our money. Yeah, we're in business
my
with you.
question is, are you saying we sent the money to the wrong, we should have sent it to one?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You send it to American Veteran Traveling Tribute in behalf of Point Man International Ministries. But the business relationship still remains that they have a relationship with Point Man Ministries. And we asked for your support. We got your support, $40,000 worth of it. And then it all went south for some reason.
If my memory serves me correctly, I asked the question, how much money do you have on hand already?
You speaking of a checking account?
No, I was just,
Towards the wall.
how much money did you have? This was when we were talking about it. How much money did you have on hand already for the wall? I remember a number that may have been.
Power's restored. If the people watching, power's restored. If you have an outage, please call the police department and give them the information on it, please. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think your answer to me was 10,000.
I believe so.
You remember 10,000?
I do, but is that doesn't add up either, because he said one person gave 6,000, another person gave 3,000.
And the town gave seed money back 5,000 when we first were in office. You remember that?
Yeah, we did. And then, so, see, we got a 6,000, you said school or church giving you 6,000, and a school
Kids
giving
free.
3,000.
That's
I'm not
nice.
looking at a financial statement, and I didn't come off prepared to offer one, but the numbers that you're generally speaking and the money that you mentioned, the $5,000, that was donated by a nonprofit prior to this administration.
Doug, I respectfully disagree. The town of Vidalia gave that money to Point Man Ministries. $5,000 came from the town of Vidalia. $5,000. Now, I can bring it to the next meeting, I promise you, because when I got in office in 2016, you were given that money by the administration at that time and put in a checking account.
Right.
And the checking account, I think, was in limbo because it was put in, whoever was the authorized signer on that was no longer there. And that money was sitting there dormant, $5,000 that I got back. I had to go and sign for it, and we gave to you. And it was approved in the meeting
Exactly.
when we got in office. It was $5,000. It didn't come from a nonprofit. It came from the people of Vidalia, $5,000. My problem with this whole thing is none of your math's adding up. And I
Mayor,
need this math to add up
That check.
so I
that
can
you-
explain what we're paying for, what we've got, and how much it's going to cost, Doug. Because we give $100,000, you can come back, well, I need another $250,000 because we got to do this, we got to do that. And we're going to let this man sit on our money and without getting anything to bring it, store it here, something. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. I'm going to be more responsible than that.
I would expect you to be, Mayor.
Okay.
And we're going, as veterans, we're going to be more responsible too.
Oh, I know.
We've had a pretty good track record of doing things in a responsible way. Insofar as the $5,000 was concerned, I carried that $5,000 bank check. I carried it around for 2 years. That's where that money came from, because it was given to me by that nonprofit group. And then ultimately, when the agreement was ultimately reached 3 years later, that the town would support it as it had been originally proposed, that $5,000 was used as a deposit to open our checking account. Insofar as the money, the $6,000 that's been donated to us, we as a board also paid off $10,000 that we used. We needed to pay the $10,000 in order to lock in the original price of $225,000. That's what the original price was.
Mr. McAllister, let me ask you a question. Why does the goalpost keep moving?
The goalposts are not moving. They're all the same. $225,000 was the original agreement. You paid $40,000, we paid $10,000. At some point, at a point, Colonel Allen said, Doug, for $50,000, I'll sell y'all this wall today. And I said, how long is this on the table? He said, it won't be forever, but it is for right now.
Did you get that in writing?
No, I got it in a text though. Two different times.
Did you relate?
And one of those times, Mayor, when I text you and I won't go back and look it up, but I text you and explain to you, we had a critical moment. We need to talk about our memorial, and I didn't hear from you.
I'll be glad to go back, but I don't remember getting any such text, Doug.
Well, in deference to everyone's time, I don't want to take time to look it up, but I've still got it, I'm sure.
Well, I'm gonna find all the things you're saying. Number one, that $5,000 did come from the town, and I'm going to go back and look, and I will have that present at our next meeting for sure.
That first 5 was before 16, though.
And it was
before our administration.
and it was sitting. We had to. You remember, we got it back because it's sitting in a dormant account,
Right.
and the town had given that money, and it was put in an account. I can't remember who the authorized signer was on it, and
But the $5,000 check, Mayor, that had been originally made to Point Man Ministries, it was given to us, and it needed to be, the agreement needed to go forward to move forward with the Point Man International Ministries project. And at that time, we used that check to open our checking account.
when did this man make this offer to you? What can you remember when? Can you tell me when?
The week before that meeting that you and
That
Mr.
was last
Jay,
year, right? 2024? This is
Yeah.
2025.
no,
When was it?
it was this year.
It was this year,
It hadn't been
2025?
that long ago.
I'm gonna let Alderman Best look through my phone with Doug McAllister's text messages from 2023. See if you see anything in there, him saying anything about the urgency of this meeting. Text message to me. You can go through it. There's nothing
But that was
about
earlier, that was earlier this year when those offers were made, and that's when I
You
attempted
said
to
you
contact
texted
you.
that to me.
Sir?
You just said you texted me that information. Did you not?
No, I text you
You
and
just said a
asked,
while ago, you texted me that information.
I text you and I said that I text you to ask you to talk about our memorial. I did not say I texted you that information.
Well, I'm gonna make I think we can talk about this, but I think we're not wasting, but we're using our hydro meeting time for one specific.
Yeah.
And I don't think we need to continue this.
Well, I
at this
just wanted to
point.
say one thing. I brought this up.
I think
last
we need
year.
to.
Y'all threw some dates that just kind of, you can't expect nothing but confusion. Like I said, they've been asking for this for 10 years, and then you're trying to go back and remember. And we throw in way bigger numbers than that, different things. I just, looking back, I wish you just would have said, hey, great idea, let's build a wall. Get it? I mean, because
Well,
I can't expect him to remember 10
again,
Well,
years,
Brent,
Well, I mean,
or anybody here.
well, look, the only thing is,
my point being, and I'm gonna say this, and I told Doug this, I said, if the community's behind it, they will raise the money. But we have not seen the community behind it because we hadn't raised the money. And I mean, you've had a gumbo, a jambalaya cooking and different things, but part of that is encouraging the public. And I've said that to you many times, encouraging the public to get involved. Not for the town to hand the money out, get the public, which involves not just Vidalia, it involves the Miss Lou. Because I feel like that's not a lot of money to raise in a community that would be involved in something concerning veterans if we put a big push on it. And I haven't seen that.
But Tommy, you could say that about anything.
I understand that.
You-
I can
you
say
could
it about
that-
what I'm
you
saying
could
about.
Say that about the basketball courts. Somebody
That-
could raise
that- I'm
money for
making a
that.
point.
Somebody
That's the
raise
point.
money for the Pope Park when you're Pope Park. I mean,
I
it's-
don't think, Brent, here's the whole deal. I don't think anybody up here is against the wall.
No,
I think
I'm
we're
not
all,
against it.
we're all 100% for the wall. I'm for the wall. Doug, but still, the way we're handling business and the way we're required to handle business, and I hope you understand it.
I understand.
I'm not going to send money. Again, we've asked you tonight for this man to call us, and I'm still feeling not like you feel like, hey, you know what, Mayor? I'm going to have this man call you tomorrow, or we'll go and visit and see the wall. What kind of that's all I'm asking for, and that's what we have been asking for. Because like I told you in that meeting, and I told you this, and I can have Jay here, he was at that meeting. I told you if the town's going to do all of this, y'all go home and we'll do it. I'll go see this man, the town will buy it, and we'll put it up and have it all done. If that's what the board wants, we'll do that. And you don't have to worry with it. But if I send a check, I want some assurances we're going to get what we pay for. That's all I'm saying. We're all for it.
And that's where I was going.
I'm as patriotic and respect our veterans more than anybody. We're here today because of the blood and the service y'all have done. We
Thank you.
can't do enough, but we also have responsibility to do our jobs. And that's,
Sure.
I think we're all on the same page. Right now, we're trying different ways to go about it. And I think you've heard very clear what we want and what we need. And then talk to this man and come back Thursday. Let's have it again. We'll talk about it again. Maybe we can figure out more, but I'm gonna find out some information too.
I'll be just very brief. Alderman Prost, 2 American Legions and a VFW post and an elementary school and a Baptist church. That's community support, whether you view it that way or not.
Doug, but I'm talking about widespread. I'm talking about, and I've asked you this more than once. I've said this to you. In the community, widespread, banks, businesses, have you gone to those people and asked them, would they support you? And they will. People give money like that all the time. I'm telling you, Concordia Bank gives out $100,000 checks. Delta Bank gives out $100,000 checks. I'm just telling you what I know is a buzz in my craft. Is that true? I believe it. I'm just
I haven't
saying-
seen no
I'm not saying-
$100,000,
I'm not
but I've
saying-
seen them do some-
But there are people that donate to.
always out there holding his heart.
I know, I'm just saying, but I'm making the point of the fact that there is a community, other than a church and a school. And me and you had this discussion, and I'm for it. I'm for the wall. I'm for our veterans, as just like Mayor Kraft said. But I like to make people work for things that they get. And again, it takes work to raise things to make it work, and commitment. And I just haven't seen that. If I knew we had the one jambalaya cooking,
Well, here's my question.
after I mentioned that to you.
Here's my question to you. I think the efforts that have been put into this thus far, at least on my behalf and these organizations that I've mentioned several times, that constitutes work and support.
Sure.
Insofar as asking businesses across the community, I have asked those communities, those businesses on occasion, can you make a significant contribution to this wall effort? And you know what they ask me?
Oh, no, that's what I'm asking.
What does the mayor say? That's a question I get asked. And that's
What does
happened
that
time
mean?
and time
I don't
again.
understand that.
Now, let's put this in perspective, and I'm gonna be brief.
So is it?
We had this-
The way I feel, Doug, you're saying this is my fault. Is that what you're basically saying?
Mayor, all I'm saying is, we need to
What?
figure out a way to do this instead, rather than a way to not do it. That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
we've all said we want to do it, Doug. I mean, it's not on me. It's not on me. When they ask you, what does the mayor say? You say the mayor's for it. But I gotta get all my ducks in a row because I'm the one up there asking for it. I'm the face of
Mayor,
this
when
thing.
we submitted these invoices, that was what you asked for at that time. And and I have asked Jay, and I've also asked you, tell us what you need, and this is in times gone by.
What did we just say earlier, Doug? We told you what we wanted and needed. This man to get in contact with us. We made it clear to you how much clearer. And all these witnesses, with the witnesses we have with me and Jay, when we come at that meeting, every person there will say the same thing that we're saying, asking you now. You never got back with us. We never heard from this man. We never got anything to show that we've got what we've got for the money we've spent.
Mayor, during that meeting, I was texting that man to ask him for more time to raise that $50,000. And I did that. I worked on
So
that
the
real
wall
hard
cost
for 2 weeks.
$90,000 total?
Say
The
again?
wall cost $90,000? Is that what it cost?
No, that offer's off the table.
But at that time, it would have cost a total of $90,000?
At that time, it would have cost us a total of an additional $50,000 from what we'd already paid.
Answer my question. So that would have brought the total cost of the wall to what was given, and that $50,000 would have brought the cost to $90,000?
Would have brought it to 100,000, wouldn't it? 40 from
Say
the town.
100,000. So if the wall was 100,000?
It was at that time. We could
So
have
what
bought
is
it
it? So what is it right now?
back to $225,000
Why in 2 weeks' time?
because that offer was made and it was,
Why was it made then and not now?
that's a question I'll find out for
Because it
you.
sounds kind of really getting more fishy to me as we go further with this kind of thing. Because if this man's got a used wall sitting in storage that either he's paying insurance on the building for or something, why would he not take the money?
Mayor, let me give you a little introduction to Colonel Don Allen. He is a United States Army Special Forces retired lieutenant colonel.
Mhm.
He's been very successful in business throughout his life. He's built any number of these walls. He displays them from time to time. Traveling walls is something he quit doing when he offered this to be a permanent wall back in 2016. And we were one of the first people to be offered that opportunity. He's not a man that's out here trying to beg somebody for pennies or a man worried about his checking account. He's a pretty well-heeled individual. And he's not a man of anything except honor and support. And he's told me, Doug, I'll do whatever you need me to do. And all I've done is come to you and in a forthright way, ask you to support what we do, what we need as veterans.
And I appreciate that, Doug, and I appreciate this man's service and his service record, but introducing him to Mayor Buzz Craft, who's not going to send him a check unless I've got something to show for it, because I'm not going to send the people money, and it's my responsibility to make sure that we get what we're paid for.
Mayor,
Okay?
when you sent $40,000 without having met him, we did committed the sin of assuming that we were off to the races. Because at that time, you were simply told us, all we need you to do is send us these invoices. And we did. And then the dynamic changed somewhere along the way.
Because
Now, here's my question to you, Mayor. Will you have someone to put in writing exactly what it is that you need?
is that not the exact same thing
That's
that
exactly.
happened last time, back earlier this year?
Will you put it in writing?
What do you not understand about what we want? Is have this man contact us, Doug. Do you want me to write? Okay, go ahead. Have a seat. When you leave here, I'm gonna have a note here for you. Doug McAdams, please have Colonel call me. And you need that in a note to remember?
Yes, sir, I remember. I got PTSD, but I got that.
I know, but do you want me to write that? Or you want me to handwrite this and say, please have this man call
All I'd
me?
like you to do is put it on your town letterhead as the mayor and say, this is what I need you to do in order to move forward.
Okay. All right, we'll get that done for you.
I just got a quick question pertaining to it. Would you think that the price could ever go back to being that lower amount that was originally offered, if possible?
I would say it's possible, but not probable.
Okay.
Colonel Allen has been dealing with this with us for 8 years. And he, like we did, believed that we were off to the races when this original $40,000 was paid. I got on my phone, I text people up everywhere. They said, hey, we're off to the races. All we gotta do is submit these invoices, and we did at that time.
You said 8 years, Doug. When did you get the $40,000? What year did you get the $40,000?
I'm not looking at that, Mayor.
Okay, it was 2 years ago. We gave you 40,000. The next year we offered 60. So it ain't been 8 years, Doug. It's only been 2 or 3.
We started on this wall project in 2016, Mayor.
No, you started before then because the previous administration gave you the property before I ever got in office. That was prior to 2016. So the project started before then. Isn't that right?
This offer was made to us to make a permanent wall in 2016. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Doug, just one quick question. Where is the colonel? Where
Sir?
is the colonel? How hard would it get him or be to get him here?
He's
Oh.
in North Texas.
I mean, I don't think he needs to at least meet with the mayor and Jay. I mean, I ain't got to say he's got to be here Thursday night, but can we set up something to where everybody could ask their questions? Because I'm behind you. I want to get this done.
Smith, I'm not gonna speak for Colonel Allen, but all I can tell you is that I'll ask him if he would meet my video teleconference, if he'll get in his truck and drive down here. If that's what it takes, I'll ask him to do that. But I'm not gonna make any promises. And your question on the Gardner is a legitimate one, but all I had told you is what I've been told, and that's verifiable. And I'm sure Don Allen will verify the fact that he made that offer. Now, why he made that offer, that's if he was changing his business up, doing things different than what he has been doing. And I want to remind you too, again, this wall has got some battle scars. It has been used less than 5 times. But it was taken out of storage and it was cleaned and prepared in order to ship it to us. We can have it in 3 to 5 business days. Now, it's like we could then.
Well, like I said, I'm just trying to, undoubtedly the communication here is the problem. Is there a way you could call the colonel?
I've been asking for him to call me.
I mean,
Got my number.
can you call?
If I give me his number,
That's where I'm going because can you give the mayor his number?
I wouldn't give it out loud. I would,
I mean, it can't be this difficult to get a hold of somebody.
text me his number, Doug. I'll give you a letter. Would you please text me his number? I'll write it down.
Don Allen. Sometimes my smartphone, not smart.
Oh, Lord.
But we should have done this about 30 minutes ago. Swapped numbers, and once we figured out there was a communication problem, and
You're still not still the same.
Same one.
Did I answer your question?
thank you.
Okay, any other questions of Doug?
And Mayor, if I know if you do talk and there's a deal, we really don't need, we don't have anywhere to put that wall. So he would have to keep it. We don't have anywhere to put, if he says, y'all got to take it off our hands, we don't have anywhere to put a wall.
Look, if I send that much money, we're gonna find.
yeah,
somewhere to
that's
put
what I
it.
said. You put it up.
I'm not, if I'm gonna send it, I might even take the truck to go get it. If we're gonna spend that much money, we might send the
Like I
truck.
said,
to
it's
go get
been 10 years or more to make it.
They were delivered for that price. And
Well,
the conversation you and I had.
With the issues we've got, I would take a check and take the truck with us. We'll load it up while we're there, do whatever, and bring it back, because it's just, anyway. All right, let's move on. Let's say that, Alderman Smith, I think we'll come back. You through?
Now, I'm going to say if we could, we talked about it before, if there's some way we could, I think he hinted around it, give schools some money, do something for the schools, Vidalia schools. Whether it's
I
education,
think
sports.
maybe helping improve those grounds for kids and, the public to maybe be able to use is pretty good cooperation, I think. And again, y'all gonna have to approve that, okay?
I mean,
And it'd also be a cooperative endeavor, correct?
Exactly.
and I'm not talking about just athletics, education. If there's something the school needs to improve the education,
Yeah,
that they're having trouble getting out the school board, which is quite possible. I'm just saying, let's help our school.
okay. Oh, I'm down for helping our schools. Okay?
So
All
my
right,
quick
on-
question before we go for it. I know with the redistricting, the three aldermen share the district, but District 3 is who represents three? Three is, Brandon.
Three is Brent.
4 is,
That's gonna be Alderman Probst.
and 5 is, okay, I'm just keeping up with what everybody requested. That was my question.
Okay.
And keep some money for the Seiko. Because that's, I've said all along, that's probably gonna be a better booker than what you think.
All right, Alderman Gardner.
Liable to go all the way up
You want to
to
go
high.
first?
Go ahead.
It don't matter.
Go ahead.
When I personally did a review from some of my constituents in District Number 2, some of the things that they're requesting are things as far as sidewalks. Some of the constituents have asked for trash cans, up-to-date trash cans. I know we talked about at a meeting the recyclable ones that we already had. I don't know if that's something that we could possibly do with the ones throughout the whole community, not just my district, but that was just one side, kind of did a polling on my constituents in my district. They said trash cans are the recyclable ones. Street lights, check street lights. As far as some of the street lights they're saying are not as working properly in certain areas in District 2.
Cornell, don't you, they do an audit on those streetlights pretty regularly,
So
don't
this is
they?
gonna be
They just changed some of them.
Walnut Street. The person, Lisa Abram made that to my recommendation. So wherever in her on that street. Also, a youth summer job program, part-time. This was recommended maybe where summer kids can come and work maybe a couple hours, 2 to 4 hours, maybe doing just generous things around here to help. Nothing too strenuous, but just to help do something for them during the summer. The summer program with Pastor Raymond Riley increased to the 5,000. I know we talked about we were gonna go on and do that. I want to make sure to see that that is done as well. Also in the district, smaller area for the ones that are walkers that may not want to walk all the way up to Polk Park. Something smaller framed in the district. You just said something about street signs, upgrades, and stop sign upgrades, something to that nature. And this is just a general things that can be possibly done by the street and sanitation department, alley cleanup, or drainage ditch cleanup. I know it was things going on with the turnarounds. I did have one constituent who only said they was not for the turnarounds in my district, but most of the people were. Basically, it's for safety instead of people turning around in people's yards. Because I have dead ends, if you have the turnarounds, it would prevent somebody from banging into your car, going in your yard. If you don't catch them. Basically, that's it for me. Sidewalks, the trash cans, recyclable ones, street lights. Oh, one thing I didn't. This person reached out to me who wasn't in my district, but I put it on my list. But they recommend this would be like something dealing with the school system as well. A safe bus stop shelter. They said nobody really around here has that, but basically it'd be preventing kids if it rains or something like that. These would be in different areas of the districts of Vidalia for the kids to have like a pavilion type of area, small pavilion area where they can be under, preventing them from getting wet going to school. But that was a recommendation from somebody in Vidalia.
That's a great idea. I just hate to be the one to figure out where to put them. Whose house? Because they, well, I look. I don't.
But
That'd
it was
be
recommended. But I'm gonna let you make that decision.
the other.
We've had that.
And Alderman Gardner, I know you've been trying to get sidewalks for a while. One of the problems that we've had a problem with sidewalks that aren't existing now is if you got one person who wants a sidewalk with the rest of the people on that street, I don't want that sidewalk going through my yard. it's gonna be something else I gotta weed eat, or somebody's gonna be walking closer to my house. That's the only thing we have to consider when that, because it's exactly, there's been someone requesting a sidewalk in their area in Alderman McCoy's district. And they're the only person on that whole stretch that wants that sidewalk. The rest of the people saying, it's going to take up most of my yard or something like that. It's, those things, if we do some kind of walking audit, see what people want, I'm good with the sidewalk. If that's something that all the citizens on that area are going to want.
It would be in certain parts of the area.
Mhm.
I mean, they don't want it, that's fine. But the bulk of the ones that have spoken to me or reached out to me have stated that that's something that they would want.
Now, one of the things, if y'all remember 2 years ago during the summer, I asked all the aldermen to pick out one person in their district, be male or female, to want to work a summertime program. I put 5,000 in the budget. Y'all remember, I never had anybody, nobody came and brought anybody to me, but I think something like that, you can pick one person out of your district, male, female, to come and work where the summer job helping up here.
So you want the alderman to pick the one person?
I'd rather that
He
person
said
be
recommended.
picking one person in your district.
He told us.
Alderman Pope could pick one person in his district. If that, hey, it's going to be graduating with, we got to set some criteria where they need to be going to college, where they, whatever they might be doing. And if I put in budget 5,000, we never had any takers on it, but we could do something like that. But because we want to be careful because some of the jobs we have are dangerous. We don't, we want to be careful. We want to be careful where we put people, but I'm all for it. I think it's a good idea. So anyway, all right, Alderman Probst, you done? You ready?
I'm still with a tree removal, which we're moving right along with that after a long time getting it done, but we got it going. Still remembering a ditch over here on Viking. Whatever we're gonna do with it, nobody seems to, we can't decide which way to go, but it's still a problem. It's still a problem.
During the seepage, it grows up when the seepage water
When
there.
that seepage water's up this year for a while, it was bad.
Yeah.
We don't need to forget that.
Randy,
I mean, that's a big problem. Somehow we got to fix it. I feel like it's just continuing. And it was like that behind, over here until Royce Whittington finally got that ditch.
Yeah.
It was horrible. And my subdivision over there years ago. Again, with the Special Olympics field, I want us to continue to look forward to that. Again, rec board's got to come through with some things. Like Brent said, maybe we got to get a different person to give us some idea. But it's available. I mean, we can find the person and come back with figures, but still want that in there. The thing Robert just said about trash cans, I would like to see, and it's not very expensive, but it would be something that we can identify, because we are still missing trash cans. I'm still having people call me they missed my trash. They missed my trash. It might be 4 or 5 cans sitting up under their carport. But I'd like to see, just like other towns, a trash can, at least one, maybe 2, that is assigned to a one-time deal, nice can, just like the recyclables, given to the customer and placed at their home if they want to be involved in the program, to where they can have their trash identified. That can is it. What's in that can goes to the street. And that can, and I've harped on this, Cornell, is still being thrown at the street, halfway the driveway. Old people don't.
That's not Cornell.
I know it, but I know it's not Cornell, but he knows I was complaining about it. But it's still halfway to the street. Wind comes up, blows down the street. And that's Randy. I know it is. But again, that's something we need to look at. This would eliminate some of that. That would eliminate. Because there's old people I know, because I get the calls. They're still getting their trash missed. My granddaughter, twice, she got hers missed. 2 days in 1 week. An elderly lady over on John Street.
Are they letting us know? I mean, because
They do, but they don't, because
we need.
they don't know to call. They don't know about that.
Yeah.
When I hear about it, they call me or tell me, But again, this would eliminate some of that. They have an identified can, and not everybody would have to have 2 or 3 if they want more than that. But at least we would get a good can or 2 cans, depending on the number of people in the home, and they're responsible. Not every time you're going to lose it and get gone. No, we give you that 1 can. It's just, it's not that expensive, I don't think.
And
to
look,
do that.
I hear what you're saying. I'll just tell you that we don't miss them. I would be remiss if I told
No,
you
you
it
can't
happened.
say that because I know better.
Because here's one thing that happens, and please put yourself in their position. And I'm not saying it always happens. Sometimes I hope it's not ever intentional.
No, I don't think it's
But
intentional.
what happens is, sometimes somebody don't show up for work, so we got to pull somebody out for grass cutting crew who might have never picked up trash
Right.
at my mother's house. If they go to my mother's yard, they're gonna walk up under the carport and they don't see a trash can. Well, they're gonna go, well, she don't have trash, but it's around in her backyard, around somewhere they wouldn't think to look. So she goes, and she's called me for, Bud, they didn't get my trash. Well, I found out there was a new guy that was running that route, didn't know where it was.
Yeah,
And that's
but it's also happening with, and I think a part of it is I have never, still can't figure this out, the concept of a setter outer. I know it used to be, you had the guys on the truck, they go hit the house, get the cans, come back. But now we got a guy who's going through, picking up trash out of the cans and taking it and putting it on the truck, then unloading it off the truck, piling it up. And then they come by and pick it up again and put it, to me, that's not effective. I mean, that's how it's happening too, because he's missing sometimes the picker-upper, whoever he is. And again, we're handling that trash 2 or 3 times because he's picking it up, unloading, picking it up, putting it on.
we're trying to pick it up as efficiently and quickly as
I
possible.
understand that, but still, I'm an alderman. I don't get into work, but I know motion is work and time is motion.
Mhm.
And when you got a guy in a truck picking it up and the same people coming by the house, and he doesn't know whether he got every can or they came by and they get it, and then somebody else comes out of the house and puts some trash in there because he got it, but the trash truck hadn't come by yet. That's confusing.
Bobby, what you got?
We have to start tracking on all the trash.
Yeah, we got cameras and
Oh,
tracking.
I know all that, but I'm
If
saying,
somebody doesn't, I can go back and see, especially if it's a knuckle boom truck, and they said that they
no,
drove.
I'm talking about,
I know.
I'm nervous about knuckle boom, because knuckle boom's the best thing ever in our town. That's the best thing ever.
We'll sit down with Frank and Randy and talk about that. What else you got?
Let's see, what else? That's about it.
That's
I'm
it?
ready to go home.
All right, well, we got to get to the public.
Well, I know that.
Oh, sure.
This $50,000 that we needed to get this wall, on February the 20th this year, at 4:29, I sent you a text. This is it. I took the liberty of calling you by your first name, Buzz. I understand you're out of town. We need to meet and talk with you soonest tomorrow regarding our Cost of Freedom Tribute Memorial. Respectfully, Doug McAllister.
When was that?
That's the last one.
Okay. And I was out of town. Did you?
I was standing in the lobby of a local bank, and a local bank officer said, well, why don't you call Buzz? They got the money to do this, and you can get this wall bought. So that was what caused that to happen.
Okay. Did you call me the next day?
Did I call you the next day? No, I asked you to call me.
We need to meet and talk with you soonest tomorrow regarding, didn't say, can you?
Okay.
Okay, got it. All right, I don't really think we need to do this, but we will because it's on the agenda. I'm gonna can I take a motion to, let's go into public and ask the public for their opinions on what they want with the project. So I hear a motion.
I move that we.
Alderman McCoy here, second.
Second.
Second by everybody. Alderman Betts, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the public, anybody have any requests? All right. Pat Galloway, come to the microphone, please, sir.
Get ready. I want an Army tank. Let me detail that a little bit more. All right. The U.S. Army has a program called the Army Donation Static Display Memorial Program. You have to send a letter from your city municipality, either from the mayor, the county commissioner, or the town manager. They're required to sign the letter. You send it to the U.S. Army Donations Program, and they will take 3 months to look at your letter, whether or not they're even going to go forward with it. At the end of the 3 months, they will put you on the list. They will keep you on the list for up to 3 years. When your name does come up, they will show you what kind of equipment they've got available for memorial displays. What you have to do is get it trucked from wherever it is and have a concrete slab to put it on. They will tell you what kind of slab you have to have, and they'll give you plenty of time to do it. So when they send you a tank, everything is welded shut. Nobody can get into it. I guess if kids played on it, they could fall off. That'd be about it. But it doesn't cost anything except the shipping and the concrete, and it can be 3 years before you hear from them. I looked at the list. They have 60 municipalities on the list right now, and all we would need is a letter saying to put us on the list. And I see plenty of tanks, and Woodworth's got a real nice one. We went down to Forest Hill the other day to get plants, and I think we could do something like that and go ahead and put it on the riverfront and get something going. It wouldn't cost very much money. I don't think I never tried to ship a tank.
Can I ask you a question? Is there
Yeah.
a certain amount of money you could pay to get kind of moved up on the list?
Oh, no. No, it's the United States Army. You just send them your name and
I
get
know,
on the
but what I'm
list.
saying is, can the Army kind of give us consideration if we send them money?
Does the Army take a bribe?
I wasn't gonna say that.
I don't know that yet. I'll see what I can find out.
That's what, you know.
But this
rather
is,
give
it
away,
doesn't
they-
cost any money. You know, I'm saying it doesn't cost any money, but you do have to ship it. And I'm be sure when they send you a list of what they got available, we wouldn't want something in New York. We would probably want something from Polk or Shelby or Beauregard or something like that. But I would like to see us do something like that. So all we need to do is get our name on the list, and we can always turn it down when it does come up. And it may be a long time before it comes
I don't know
up.
why we'd turn it down. I think we'd find somewhere.
And we could put it down by the wall.
That's what I was thinking. It would draw some attention anyway, you know.
Okay. Can you, I know you had to pull up something off the internet to get that. Can you got my phone number. Can you send that to me? Can you send
Yeah, I'm gonna print it out better. Our electricity went off while I was working on it.
Well, it's back
so-
on now.
Okay. I'll have you something in the morning.
You got power now. Is that right, Cornell? I don't know if anybody called, still got some spotty outages or not, but everybody should be back.
All I want is just a letter saying we're interested. So,
Okay.
okay.
No problem. All right, Sydney. Your power went out too, so you,
I just have a couple of really small things. People that I talk to in Natchez, and I talk about the riverfront all the time. They're going, here she comes, talking about the riverfront. Anyway, they don't know how to get to the riverfront. And I said, and I explained to them how to get there, but I think what we need is some more signage. You know, right as you come off the bridge, if we had a sign, I don't know where to place it, but y'all would know better than I.
there's a sign there now.
There is a sign. There's one sign that I've seen, but we need something that's going to be maybe a bigger, I don't know, something that will catch the eye as you come off the bridge, directing traffic, to the right to get there.
Yeah.
Because you can't turn right off the bridge always. Because traffic's going at a rate of speed, and some people just can't slow down enough.
We just
So
have to
if
be
we had
careful.
another sign maybe on down, turn here, or directing people to the riverfront,
Right.
I think would be helpful.
I
That's just-
think, only thing is, Cindy, anything that, we're talking about state highway. State has to approve any kind
Oh, I
of signage or permitting to do
I
that.
understand.
They have to approve that. But I mean,
It's just a need.
I'm
I think
game.
it's a need.
I mean, I don't.
I think it's a
don't-
need.
I can't understand somebody who can't, when they're coming over the bridge, look and see.
I know,
I don't know.
I know, but I just think another sign would be helpful.
Okay.
I'm just,
All right.
and then we need benches beside the basketball courts here at the municipal complex. The basketball courts there need benches for the kids to sit down and wait
That's a
for
good
their
idea.
turn. They're sitting just on the concrete. And I think that would be helpful. And maybe in
That's good.
Alderman McCoy's district, they could use benches
Mhm.
around the basketball court because they have to take turns. And that would be.
I don't know about water fountains.
And then y'all have heard me talk years about public art.
Yeah.
I think this is a very, very important thing. It's so welcoming into cities. Even little Wisner has a public art on the side of the wall of one of their businesses that has the name of the town.
Mhm.
And inside of the letters are scenes of the town, you know, different things. We could easily do that with Vidalia. We could do the bridges, the river, the fishing, hunting.
Tastefully done.
botanical-
Tastefully done. I don't have any problem with that at all.
Botanical things. I was looking around town. Hoggett's would have been my choice, but Randy says no. So I was thinking about Home Hardware has a nice wall of it's just cinder blocks. Would be easy to paint. You can't see it till you get right up on it, but it does face the highway and could be seen from the highway. So I've not talked to the manager there yet. I can't, he's always off when I call him. Anyway, we could get with him and see if that company that they sold to would be in agreement. I've not done that yet.
Okay.
And then I got with Jenny Hinkle, has some numbers, prices of what it would cost to do some public art, especially on the riverfront. Those old ugly utility boxes, they could be beautiful with just some public art. We would have a committee that would choose the designs and work with the artists to accomplish their designs and to make sure that everything looked as appropriate as it should.
Okay.
That's not a big ticket item.
All right.
Jenny, could you come and give me your numbers? She has the numbers.
I know Jeannie has a school here that has art classes.
Well, obviously, like, I just generalize some numbers here because, you know, as an artist, when you do a project, it's, you know, and unless I know what utility box it's going to be or what's in consideration to be painted, you know, it'd be hard for me to know. I just did just a very general estimate here on a mural. Like, say you guys suggest a wall, you get an agreement with that business owner to do it, then a good estimate would, for me, when I go out and paint in the wild, which sometimes you guys see that during the holidays, you'll see business windows painted. I just recently did it for Lux to draw attention to their business right there by the bridge. So we painted their windows and things like that. So for me, when I do those paint jobs, you know, that one, a small paint job for that can range like several $100s up to like closer to $1,000, just depending. I paint budget builds, the whole front of their shop every holiday season. So I have a price here for like an estimate of an hourly rate for murals. The thing about me as a painter is I paint really fast. Not every artist that you hire, you know, can paint, you know, as fast as within a timely manner. So I have that too here. I can show you guys that. And then as far as the utility boxes, I have a rate there with like a equipment and initial supply cost. Dustin and I went and drove around and looked the other day. So those utility boxes, especially the bigger ones that I looked at, there's a lot of pre-prep work that has to be done before they're dirty. They need to be cleaned. They're going to have to be primed and then sealed. And so I estimate like one of those larger boxes could take up to 7 to 9 hours to paint it. They're massive. So you think about that. When I painted Lux Salon, I was 4 to 5 hours in. When I do budget build the whole front of their shop, I'm at least 7 hours in when I go out and paint that. That's just nonstop painting it. So they're going to take a little bit of time to get those done. The smaller boxes, there's a rate for that. I can show you guys that. Painting out in the wild, I call it for an artist. You know, it's a lot because you have a lot to drag around. You have a lot you have to do. You're out in the elements. You know, so usually if you hire any muralist, whether it's me doing it or someone else, and whoever you choose, I would just make sure that you really vet them because you want somebody that's going to take your money and paint with the right types of paint to where it's lasting. You know,
You can, we can, go ahead and give it to us, but what we'll do, you're getting on the list for this and we'll look at them and we'll, we'll certainly,
It'll just, no matter who who you choose to do it, it'll just give you guys something to think about of what it costs to paint out, in the wild.
yeah, and what we'll do is we'll have you on the list with the amounts, and we'll get with them to see what, we might want to do just the riverfront first, for example.
Yeah.
Or we might want to do up here at the complex. We can just see how it looks and go from there with it, and that way we can plug in these
Yeah, that
prices.
would be my suggestion, is to try one, just
Yeah,
to see.
let's do an area of town and see how it
Yeah.
looks and see how the response is to it, and then we'll go from there with it. But, I admire people who have the ability to do that, because, mine would look like a stick man on it or
Oh,
something,
gosh.
if I had to draw something. But
Yeah.
I appreciate people who are talented to do that.
I think it will be, a beautiful thing for the city. You look at cities like Ocean Springs that has Walter Anderson art all over. It's so welcoming. It makes everyone very happy. So I think whoever does it, it would be a really great thing.
Yeah. How many senior parking lots did you do this year?
I didn't do any.
You didn't do anything?
I didn't have time between teaching at the studio and just working my art business. I didn't have time.
I
to
didn't
do it.
realize how big a thing that is now with kids. I mean,
Yeah.
they paint their parking lot spot with things they like. And pretty
I'm
cool.
thankful though, because it was so hot. So, but anyways,
But, okay, great ideas. I mean, we'll sort of put this together, and I'm gonna try to have all these projects put on something and put in front of the aldermen individually, and they can pick the ones they want to consider and bring back. And I'm gonna try to do this early in September, our September, council meeting. So we should move pretty quick on all these things.
Mayor, follow up to Ms. Cindy's suggestion about the riverfront and drawing attention to it. There's been some discussion about backhoe, what place to put it. That 100-foot backhoe would draw a lot of attention to the river.
Yeah.
What you think?
Well, we would, but we're probably gonna settle in down here somewhere at the park, down here at the complex to put it. We've about decided on that. Strictly because, number one, if you start, that pole's gonna have to go real deep in that levee, and it's within the berm of that levee. I don't have to go to Corps Engineer to get approval for that. I'd rather just go to DOT, whatever we put out here, because the Corps could be a long time coming. Because you drill down that far in that levee, they don't like it. That's something we ran into everything with them. So.
I have one more thing that I forgot.
Okay.
My one last thing that I forgot to discuss and mention, I know Natchez just did something with a marker pertaining to Memorial Day. First of all, I would like to say that Memorial Day here started here in Vidalia, Louisiana, and traveled across the river to Natchez. And the starting point was Vidalia. So I would personally like to see a marker placed here. And I think the marker, I was on that committee when they decided to put it in Natchez as well. But I think that marker costs a couple $1,000s. But we're approaching 160 years, one of the longest running parades that we've ever had. So I think for Vidalia and the place that I would personally like to see it put would be by the Lady Relief Corps building on Magnolia Street here in Vidalia, since that's the starting point of the march. But the origination and it all started, let's not forget it all started here in Vidalia and not in Natchez. Yes, we do travel to Natchez to get to the National Cemetery, but the starting point is here in Vidalia.
Okay. All right, it's on the list. All right, we need a motion to exit public hearing.
I make a motion.
Motion made by Alderman McCoy here, second.
I second it. Brent made the
Oh, Brent made the
motion.
motion, Alderman McCoy made the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, anything else for the council? If not, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Motion made by Alderman Probst, second by Alderman McCoy. All in favor, say aye. Stand adjourned. Thank y'all very much.